Many of you may be familiar with our modern day proof sets. They come in a hard plastic lens. Well, prior to the year 1964 and back actually, they were in a poly pack. The coins kind of moved around inside little plastic sleeves, and they were stored in an envelope, shipped out to customers in an envelope. The reason why I'm bringing it up is that because of that packaging, we don't see many high-grade coins from those dates. And what's up next is a perfect example of that. The largest coin in the proof set is this Franklin half dollar. 90% silver, folks, 1957, 58, and 59 Franklin half dollar proofs that come from those proof sets in a high grade 67. I'm going to give you all those numbers to kind of back up my statement of those populations, the coins being very, very rare in high grade. Now, in these 3 years, these coins only came out of proof sets. They did not make them individually. You could only get them out of a proof set. And the mintage figures are kind of small. 1.2 million coins made, of course, proof sets made in 1957, 875,000 and change in 1958, and about 1.1 million made in 1959. Because of the way they were packaged, the coins could move around, and by the time they got to the grading services, not many of them make a high grade. There are no 70s known to exist in the world at all for any of these dates or any Franklin proofs for that matter. 68s are hard, 69s are hard to come by, 68s are hard to come by, and these are those 67s. I think it's the sweet spot because they're most affordable, yet there still are only 2 to 3% of each one of these known to exist in 67 grade and higher. So I'm kind of giving you the numbers for all of them. This is the packaging that I initially mentioned. It's a poly pack. Each coin had its own little air bubble, and it was in an envelope. They put the addresses to the customer on the envelope, shipped them out. They changed to the modern era, the plastic lens, and that's how our proof sets are today. They changed over to this in 1968, and then year by year, our proof sets are in that hard plastic lens now. So you have a better chance of getting high grades, 70s no less. But 64 and back, they're only poly proof sets, and that's why we have about 2%, 2 to 3% of each one of these known to exist in 67 grade or better, and that's all of the grades from 67 and up. Do you see that price of $49.95 each? Our competition's at $69.95, so you're saving $20 per coin. If you grab the trio, you're saving $60 altogether. But it is your choice, so you can grab any date you'd like, 57, 58, 59, or multiples within. If any one of these dates is important to you, you could grab 5 of one, whatever works for you. That's what we call a your choice. So give us a call, folks. Speak to our operators. These are available online as well on the website. So you'll head over to abccoins.com. Each one has its own item number. I'm going to kind of run through them for you. 1957 is 905-5878. 1958 is 905-6437, and 1959 is 905-5813. $49.95 for a proof 67 graded by NGC. Now these are Philadelphia mints. That's who made proof sets back then. The Philadelphia Mint made the proof sets. When they transitioned over to the quote-unquote modern that I referenced before, San Francisco took over, and that was 1968. And that's when we saw the hard plastic lenses again, San Francisco's. But these are the Phillies. They were made in these poly proof sets, and the 3 coins, the dime, the half, and the quarter, are 90% silver. That's the difference between our modern proof sets and then our vintage proof sets, so to speak. And that's what these are. We like to show you that plastic lens just to give you a visual representation of the difference in the packaging between the poly proof sets and then the hard plastic lenses, because of the fact that when they're packaged differently, stored differently, in a lens where they don't move around and they're protected by a hard plastic, you have a better chance of getting a higher grade. And that also leads us to the reason, the explanation why on these 3, for example, or anything dated 64 and back, you don't see those high grades like we see today. No 70s, 9s are rare, 8s are rare, 7s, 2 to 3% of the entire mintage. And at $49.95, where competition is at $69.95, it's a great, great time to join. They're Franklin proofs. There are only Philadelphia's It's the shortest lived half-dollar series in the 20th century. They only made them from 1950 and up. And here they are. I mean, look at the quality of these coins. They look like they were made yesterday, right? And they were 67. Brilliant blast weight, beautiful coins. Only from a proof set. And NGC certifies one of the best. And under $50 were our competitions, just at $70, $69.95. What a savings and what an opportunity. And once again, you could join us with either date, any date, mix or match however you would like. One of each, a lot of trios going on. And when we do trios, we give you the opportunity to buy one. If that's what your budget is allowing, you want to get in on a vintage silver proof Franklin half dollar, a high grade 67, that's why we do these your choice things. But a lot of trios are going out because of that fabulous price and the savings off our competition. Incredible, incredible time. So only 35 coins in this series on the uncirculated side, 16 Phillies, 14 Denvers, 5 San Franciscos, but all of the proofs were Philadelphia's. You could not get a proof. They were not made outside of proof sets. You only could get them in that proof set that we just showed you. And don't forget also that after this, 10, 20 years later, the silver rise in the 80s rose up to $50 an ounce. So people didn't care. There was no grading services out yet. It was prior to NGC opening, and a lot of silver got melted, including proofs. So that's another reason why you don't see a lot graded on that census report, because besides the fact that there are not, theoretically perfect coins, or a lot of 68, 69, 67s, a lot of coins got melted when they were $20 a piece. People were cashing in. NGC starts after, decades later, here we go. We have these numbers that are just shocking. What's also shocking is the ability to get in on a vintage half dollar in the highest possible production way. The proof is the strongest, the highest strike. Jeez, I couldn't think of the word. The highest strike is the proof. But for under $50, one could be yours in that beautiful grade 67. I have to put a 30-second clock up, folks, just to manage the phones. We have quite a people on the phone waiting to place their orders. So if you're on the line or you're thinking about it and you don't want to call, just head over to the website. It's abccoins.com. We have a bunch of other Franklin proofs in 67, but this trio, $49.95 per coin. Join us any way you'd like, mix or match, or get all three. And when you buy three from us, you're saving $20 a piece off our competition. So it's a $60 savings altogether. That's the packaging they came in, folks, and that's why there just are not many out there known to exist. But you could be one of them, and you could own one tonight.